Welcome to the real Ramblers movie talk for fanatics. The real Ramblers movie talk for fanatics. And now your hosts, Bill and Lee Howard.
Ooh, I'm doing a 3D effect. Ooh, welcome to the Ramblers.
Ramblers.
I'm Bill Howard. This is Lee Howard right here.
Hello.
And we're back this week to discuss one of our favorite filmmakers that also happens to be one of the most divisive filmmakers in all of Hollywood.
Who is that?
I don't know.
I was trying to figure out if that was a specific voice.
I just feel kind of like I'm one of those hosts from one of those shows that talks like this all the time. In the late 70s, maybe the early 80s.
I thought it was a little Hitchcocky, yeah.
A little Hitchcock, that's interesting. Without an accent, though.
Like Hitchcock, yeah, without an accent, maybe just like a little, like, his allergies are like kind of stuffed him up a little bit. Yeah.
I was kind of more thinking of one of those guys that hosted a show where they'd have guests
a really big show. Not that guy.
No, not him. Not Ed Sullivan. Yeah. Anyway. Whatever. I get to do impersonations too, even if they're of nobody. Part
two.
Last week we discussed the first batch of M. Night movies. And in that first batch, there was some of his most divisive ones for sure.
What are you even talking about, bro? Everybody likes all of those.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. The Happening is beloved worldwide.
Why even is this happening? Science.
So we're going to kick off this week's with, I think, the movie that probably got the least amount of buzz or the least amount of preamble
attention
up to
or
its release.
Eyes on it, or
it's like
no one talks about this movie.
It kind of appeared, and then played and did well, I believe.
I think it
did pretty well. And then disappeared, and nobody even remembered that it was an M. Night movie. And it's very strange. I don't know what the deal is, but anyway, it's called The Visit. And
I fucking love this movie.
Me too.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Now, okay, here's the thing, guys.
So this is really M. Night doing like straight up horror.
Yeah, very. And it's like there is a twist to it.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen it, because it's a lesser known one, right? So it's like I'm afraid that people will.
Yeah.
We can try and not reveal the ending.
Let's not reveal the ending.
See how it goes. But we can talk about it otherwise.
Okay. And it doesn't even happen at the ending, really. The twist.
No,
it's a little earlier.
Yeah, a little earlier. Yeah, it's so it's a found footage style movie.
Yeah.
Where it's two kids who are, a boy and a girl, brother, sister, who are, fucking, 11 to 13, 14.
Catherine Hahn's their mom.
Yeah. She was Agatha all along. We didn't even know.
She was.
P.S. Loving that show. Super fun.
Not me.
No, I like it. It's very Halloween-y.
Very Borroweeny to me.
Zing. So yeah, Catherine Hahn's like, hey kids, you haven't seen your grandparents since you were literal babies. Go up. I can't go see them. And they film everything because the kids super
and they live in
too.
like a little town.
Yeah, they live in a very little town. So it's these kids going to see their grandparents. They get there and it's like fucking grandma and grandpa are acting.
And the two kids are fantastic.
So good. Yeah, they're like grandma and grandpa are acting like really weird. And it's like something happens to the laptop, like where the camera gets like gummed up. So it's like so that's all we'll really say about. It's just something you don't know, because from the trailer, I remember the trailer that, you just see the kids going up there, and then it's like at nighttime, it's very creepy, and the grandpa's like, don't leave your room after 9 o'clock.
Yeah, like that's the stuff we can talk about.
Exactly.
The two kids are basically told, don't get out of your room at night because we got this shit and it's dangerous and you can get whatever. Just don't leave your room at night.
Yeah.
And then they start hearing noises at night, and then they inevitably, as kids would do, take a peek to see what's going on.
Yeah.
And they see some pretty disturbing shit.
Yeah, naked grandma scratching at the walls.
Yeah, naked grandma walking around and being like really creepy and scratching at walls and the creepy little crawl thing. Yeah,
so we won't reveal anything else because it's like, if you haven't seen it, really give it a watch because it's fucking great.
Yeah,
very
great atmosphere, great performances.
Oh, the kids are so good. Well, the adults are too. Like everybody's great in it.
Yeah, everybody's great.
The under the house crawling around part, holy shit.
Yeah. The pacing's great.
Really good.
Really, like, it
it's
keeps
a
you...
fast watch.
Yeah, it keeps you really interested through the whole thing. Like, you're dying to find out what's going to happen next.
Totally. I think there's a post-credits on this, just a funny one, with one of the, with the boy.
Oh, I think so. Yeah, that's right.
But one of the funny things, this is not a spoiler, doesn't matter. Like the boy's like, I want to stop swearing, and he starts using like a female pop singer's name. So it's like he falls down. He's like Shania Twain, Sarah McLachlan. But yeah, it's weird that not a lot of people talk about it or like knew about it or whatever. Because it kind of just came and went.
Yeah, I kind of think it's one of his strongest movies.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe people were like, oh, is this like a found footage movie? I don't want to watch it because not everyone likes that. But it also doesn't have that like shaky camera found footage.
It feels like a normal movie. It's just the kid films things.
Yeah, so, like a stationary laptop or whatever. So it's so creepy and good though,
and fun,
very
super
fun, very fun. Yeah, and
with
cool things happen in it.
Super creepy scenes.
Very, and like kind of some haunting. Things.
Yeah.
I'm doing emotions. I don't want to spoil it, but like that is like I was just cleaning it.
Yeah.
Like holy fuck, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
So absolutely check that out.
Yep.
Now we're done talking about The Visit, right? I guess right. The next movie is, I think, people weren't split on it. I think everyone pretty much universally loved it.
Yeah.
What I want to say about it is I was so excited to see it, and I didn't get to see it right away. I know you saw it, and you were really excited for me to see it.
Yeah, I was.
So I think at this point, everybody knows it's essentially a sequel to Unbreakable.
Yeah.
But thank fucking Yoda or whoever's out there that nothing got spoiled for me.
Yeah.
Because, like, I'll jump to the end just real quick. When they reveal it, like, after the thing happens,
you must have like literally come out of your seat.
I cried.
Yeah.
I like when they're in the fucking cafe or wherever they're
diner or something.
The diner, thank you. Yeah, and it's like everyone's watching the news, and it's like the camera's slowly moving around, and it's like I'm fucking getting goosebumps just thinking about it. What a nerd. But the music from Unbreakable starts creeping in, and I was just like, ooh, hold on, because I know that music so well.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I feel so stupid saying that I cry, but I was just, when I get overwhelmed with awesomeness, I cry. I'm a human being, God damn it. And then, they do that thing where they're like, oh, that sounds like that guy, like a few years ago, he like who got arrested or whatever. He had a funny name too, right? And then they lean back and fucking Bruce Willis is there and he's like, Mr. Glass.
Yeah.
And it blew my mind that it was kept such a secret too.
Same.
Like, oh my God.
Pretty amazing.
But that was the end. So like, give me your thoughts on what you got on Split.
I also love it. So this is kind of the flip side of Unbreakable in that it's the real life story of the forming of a supervillain.
Yeah.
Really. James McAvoy plays the villain, who is a multiple personality psychopath. And apparently he was hired for it only like 2 weeks before filming started or something.
Holy shit.
So he had to do all that prep and come up with all those.
Jesus.
He said that basically him and M. Night sat in a room and went, what would this person sound like? What would this person? And they just kind of started coming up with it.
James McAvoy is amazing.
Oh, James McAvoy. Come on.
They say in it that he has 24 personalities, but we only see about like 8 or so. But still, it's fucking 8 people. That's a lot.
And it's a very distinct people.
Oh, very.
But there's also elements in it that you don't know if they're supernatural or if you're just perceiving them that way.
Yeah.
Because it seems like he almost physically transforms in a way, but it's done in this subtle way that you're like, did he transform or am I just witnessing his body
just like bulking himself up or something?
Yeah, it's hard to tell. But it felt definitely like there was something supernatural going on.
I mean, he was crawling on the walls at one point, so it's like,
But it's like, could a Cirque du Soleil person maybe do that?
Yeah, like if the wall is all like not flat, of course, but like
and
with
if your
grip strength, it's hard to say.
Yeah. But anyway, he's super frightening. His most scary personality is the
Beast.
The Beast.
Yeah, the Beast,
who's terrifying.
Yeah,
and then the majority of the story is about him holding captive.
Yeah, Anya Taylor-Joy, which is the first thing I had seen her in. I think for me, anyway. I don't think I'd seen her in anything before that.
I think was The Witch before that.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, so I think The Witch was the first time I saw her. But yeah, so it's about these girls that are trying to escape and figure out.
Yeah, they're like locked in a house or something somewhere in a basement with these different rooms.
And they're all so terrified of him and all his personalities.
Yeah.
So she's being the really smart one of the group. I mean, they're all pretty smart because they try some different stuff. But she starts realizing that, oh, maybe I can appeal to one of the other personalities and help myself out of this situation. And it becomes a real mental mind game of playing tricks with this psychopath.
Yeah.
And it's really brilliantly constructed, really well written. McAvoy, again, is off the charts amazing in it.
It's like a literal beast in it. Like, he got giant and crazy ripped and stuff. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Kind of like triggery warning stuff. Like, her backstory is very hard to watch stuff.
Yeah.
Really, there's some really fucking hard to watch stuff. And it's like, it kind of has, it sounds weird to compare it to Deadpool, but it's like the way Deadpool became a hero is like if you go through this fucking horrible trauma, you can kind of become special.
Yeah.
You know, and it's sort of like, because he recognizes that in her, because she went through really fucking bad trauma.
Right.
So yeah, there's some stuff that's actually pretty hard to watch in this, but it's a crazy, it's a good movie. Just James McAvoy is fucking knocks it out of the park so hard in this that it's
and for a guy to be terrifying in the next second sympathetic, it's crazy to be able to accomplish that, because some of his personalities are sympathetic. So it's an interesting transition when he switches from one to the other.
He's so good at voices and stuff too, and like, good lord,
mannerisms are crazy. His whole body posture changes and everything. But then that aside, the progression of the story, the pacing of the story, and where it goes with the girls and everything is awesome. Like, it's it's a straight up really cool original thriller.
Yeah, it is.
But it's awesome. I love it.
And you don't necessarily need to watch Unbreakable first.
Nope.
At all, because it's only that
don't.
one last scene that connects them.
Yeah, you definitely don't.
Which leads
So
us.
now that he's made Unbreakable and Split, he's like, I'm going to round out my trilogy with a finale. And you and I were both like, fucking
I couldn't believe it.
I was like so excited.
Bruce is back. David Dunn.
And then they
Sam.
announced the title is Glass. Cool
like,
title.
Cool.
Can't wait. The poster was cool.
And
then we saw the movie.
And I've said this in other episodes. What's that?
I died a little that day.
Yeah, right? I just I don't recall another movie that made me as fucking angry as this one did, because I guess I just had high hopes for where the characters would go and character betrayal, like you said. And it's like weird that in this one they introduced, I forget what her name is. It was like she was
Sarah Paulson's character.
Sarah Paulson, who I love. She's great.
Yeah.
But it's like she's like the head of this like hero hunter group that are like, well, we're hunting like special people and we don't want the world to know that you're here. So we're going to lock you up and
try and convince them that they're not superpowered and stuff.
Right.
Even though we're acknowledging it. It was weird.
And it's like, it seemed like they were heading to, like in this movie at the end, that there was going to be like a big fight in the city. Like, and then they would be revealed to the world sort of thing. And then it was
the thing when it started out kind of cool. The idea of these three characters coming together with Sarah Paulson's character was intriguing. The little things like using their weaknesses to control them was interesting. David Dunn is the heart of these stories. And his character and the way Bruce played him has this sadness and this sympathy to him and this heroicness to him, that he is willing to sacrifice things about his life to help people. And he is the actual beating heart of these movies. So when you see him really cast aside as not a big part of this movie, and thrown away. Like, I don't care about spoilers.
No, I was going to say that.
He literally is killed in the movie by a security guard holding their foot on his head while he drowns in a puddle that's like half an inch deep.
Unfucking believable.
Because he has a water weakness. And I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. You've seriously got to be fucking kidding me.
And it's like everybody came, like his kid came back and I was excited at the beginning because it's like they're working together to like be vigilantes essentially.
His kid was like his Alfred.
Totally.
Awesome.
And it's same actor. That kid is still acting. So that was great to see him back. Anya Taylor-Joy came back and stuff.
I've seen him in a few things since and he's great.
I feel like I have too. I think he was in the Weird Al movie. It was such a fuck you, I found, you know, and it's like, I think all of them died. Like Sam, Bruce, James McAvoy.
Yeah.
And then it ended because like someone fucking filmed it somehow or whatever and like leaked the footage.
Yeah. And the big thing at the end was it's out there now.
Yeah.
And it's like, what?
Who cares?
Who gives a shit?
Yeah. And it was like Bruce's kid, Anya Taylor-Joy, and Sam Jackson's mom. Just like, well, here we are, guys. Yeah, da 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 da. Like, lady, you helped him with that. You should be in jail too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, what a letdown. So
Yeah.
mad.
Sad.
Especially when you have like two like fucking incredible films to drop the ball like that.
Yeah.
Womp womp.
And the ball was really dropped. It wasn't
Certainly
even
was.
like it was just one thing about it or what.
Yeah,
it was
got
just the
pooed
whole
on and then
thing was
flushed into hell.
just such a shame.
Yeah.
Such a shame. And I would have liked to have seen the further adventures of David Dunn.
Oh my God, yeah.
There's so many things you could have done with that character. And just a shame.
Yep, absolutely. Next up is another divisive one, I think.
Yeah. So the next one's Old, right?
Yep, Old.
So Old, cool idea.
Yeah, neat
cool
idea.
Story. I enjoyed it when I saw it in the theater. I wasn't blown away.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it for what it was, but it's not a movie that I'd ever be like, oh, I want to watch Old again.
Yeah, I like the premise, but like not a lot really added up about it. Hilarious that the fucking rapper guy's name was Midsize Sedan. That was pretty funny. But just like not a lot of stuff added up. Like, you know, the island like ages you rapidly and that cool, neat premise, but it's like only for certain people does it do it quicker than others for no reason. And a lot of the characters had that thing that like I didn't like from The Happening where it's like whatever their job is, that's all that they ever talk about.
Defines them.
You're stuck in the past. That's why you work in a museum. You know what I mean? It's like the stats guy. Like there's a guy who's all about stats, and this is my job. Like
we can't
something's
try and
going
escape
on with
that
time
way.
on
The
this
odds
beach.
of that are
It's so like what the fuck is going on here? Yeah. It's just it had neat ideas, but it's like. I don't know. There was like the underwater kind of weird deer antler area. It was like, oh, that was neat looking, but it's like one thing, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like the bad guys, big pharma, you know, which like, sure, I guess that makes sense, I guess, but it's like.
Yeah, it really seemed to. It's one of those movies that I think he should have spent another 6 months on the screenplay.
Yeah.
And then it might have been executed a little better.
Yeah. It kind of not really reminded me of Cabin in the Woods, where it's like, there's a big corporation that puts these people in this place to watch what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's just...
I thought the idea was kind of neat that Big Pharma was like, we can test all these drugs in a day instead of over 5 years.
Yeah.
Like
it's
that
like, it had neat ideas.
Sinister about it.
Yeah.
The ideas were cool.
Like, yes, we might kill a couple people, but we could save millions in the end. And it's like, cool concepts.
Yeah.
Not well executed, I don't think.
And a lot of the characters were not likable.
No, almost nobody.
Yeah. So that's a really forgettable one.
Yeah.
But good ideas at its core.
Yep.
Next up was Knock at the Cabin.
Right.
I don't know if we've ever discussed this.
We've never
discussed it.
What did you
think of this?
I liked it, didn't love it. Like, didn't blow me away, but there's things I did like about it. The cast is great. Dave Bautista is great. The premise was pretty cool. It's based on a comic book.
Mm-hmm.
Like the sacrifice, global disasters are happening, like the Four Horsemen kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was a lot of cool elements. Like if we don't do this, like we didn't kill this person in time, planes start falling out of the sky.
Yeah.
Like it's a neat idea.
I didn't love it, but I liked it a little more than just liked it.
Right.
But I really credit most of that to Dave Bautista. His performance was very layered, and I thought he was the anchor of that whole movie. He was
fantastic. Yeah, like I just think he's so good, so talented.
Yeah. But I love the premise. I love single location movies.
Yep, me too.
The whole idea of it was cool, and I like that I spent most of the movie being like, what is going on? Like, why? Why is this happening and why is that happening? So that I think all of that added up to I had a really fun time watching it the first time because it was just fun to watch it all come together. And the whole thing of like, are they all nuts or is it real?
Are they actually like preventing the apocalypse?
Yeah. So I loved all that too.
The real quick here, because it's based on a comic book, and I guess the end of the comic was different than the movie because
I heard there was some difference, but I didn't know what.
I can tell you, I'm going to spoil something right here, guys, because it's two husbands who have a daughter, and one of the husbands I think sacrifices himself. Because like we have to, and then it's okay. Now we'll go on living in the apocalypse. So in the comic, the daughter dies, but she dies in a crossfire of a fight. So because it was accidental, it doesn't stop the apocalypse.
Right.
Because it wasn't like one of the proper sacrifices or whatever.
Right.
So the husbands still need to choose willingly. Well, we got to kill one of ourselves then. And then they chose not to sacrifice and they just drive off. And then you, in the comic, never actually find out if the apocalypse was real or not. So a little bit more of like a holy fuck, like ambiguous kind of thing.
Yeah.
But different.
It definitely wasn't one that I was like, oh, it's my favorite M. Night movie or anything.
No,
but I had a really good time watching it.
Mostly because of Dave Bautista. For me. Because
he was amazing in it.
Yeah.
we're sticking to movies, but I want to interject in there that he also did a show in between these few movies called Servant.
I heard it's great, but
I loved Servant. It's so unique and different. Everybody that's in it is phenomenal. It's got the girl from The First Omen is in it, and Ron Weasley from Harry Potter, who's great. Everybody in it's amazing, and it's basically about this couple that lives in a New York brownstone, and I think I don't know if it's in New York or if it's in Pittsburgh, but they're in a brownstone, and they hire this nanny to take care of they get a baby under mysterious circumstances, and this girl, they keep her to look after the baby, and they had lost a baby.
Okay.
But when you find out the circumstances of how they lost the baby, it's weird and it's creepy, and then all these strange things start to happen about who this girl that's looking after the baby is, who the baby is, and where she came from. And there's supernatural elements, but it's very moody. Most of it takes place in the house.
Right. Oh, cool.
But really great production design, really great characters, and really, I think it went 3 seasons.
Yeah, sounds right.
And the mythology that it takes, the arc of the mythology from episode 1 to the end of the 3rd season is awesome.
Wow, cool. It's on Apple, I think.
Yeah,
right?
Apple.
We don't have that. But.
Just really awesome, though. And it heavy on mood.
Okay.
Heavy on suspense.
Nice.
And some laughs.
Cool.
Here and there, dark humor, especially from Ron Weasley.
Nice.
He's really great in it. But yeah, well worth the...
Cool.
If you're going through one of those periods where you're like, oh, there's nothing to watch.
Right.
Go for Servant.
Nice.
It's a really nice change from the usual. And then I guess that brings us to his most recent film.
Yeah.
Trap, which we talked about a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. In one of our other episodes.
Again, M. Night, it's divisive. There's tons of people out there that are like, oh my God, I turned it off.
Yeah.
10 minutes in or whatever. I loved it. For me, it was the thriller equivalent of Commando.
Yeah.
It's
so ridiculous.
It's a late 80s, early 90s, that could never really happen thriller. But in the best way possible.
Yeah.
So much fun. And watching the incredulous things happening was the fun.
Oh yeah, it's so
the killer.
Dumb.
Everybody's seen the trailers, but it's basically about a guy who takes his daughter to a big pop concert that's kind of like a Taylor Swift sort of deal.
Yeah.
And he finds out that the police are surrounding the place because they think this serial killer is in it, and he's the serial killer. It's revealed in the trailer.
Yeah.
So the whole night at the concert is him, played by Josh Hartnett,
who's great,
who's amazing,
fucking great.
And he's trying to figure out how the hell am I going to get out of this?
Yeah.
That's the premise of the movie. But it's ridiculous stuff where it's like, there is no way.
Every person that he goes to happens to be the one that has all the information he needs at that time, every time.
Which is awesome.
So funny. It's a really dumb movie, but in the greatest fucking me and Jordan were laughing so hard the whole way. We were like, we will 100% watch that many times again.
Yeah, and I'm sure
because
people
it's so
watch
dumb.
it and they're like, oh, how could he write such a dumb movie? And I'm 100% convinced it was all on purpose.
God, I hope so.
A writer as good as him doesn't write a movie like that by accident.
Yeah.
He couldn't have thought, I'm making a serious thriller.
Yeah.
I'd like to look up some interviews about it.
Yeah, me too. I'd be interested. It
had to have been on purpose.
So many things make just a couple funny examples of he's oh, I gotta cause a distraction so that I can maybe get by these police or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's there's also for starters, so it's in it's in the afternoon, and it's basically like a Taylor Swift concert at a fucking giant stadium. And anytime,
which is actually Rogers here in Toronto.
That's right, yes.
That's where it was from.
The indoors I think was a Hamilton. A location in Hamilton. That's what I read, unless I'm wrong.
No, the whole thing was at Rogers Center.
Oh, okay, crazy.
Yes.
They filmed something at Hamilton. I don't know.
Maybe part of it was maybe the house scenes. I don't know. But I know,
either,
but I recognize the interior.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, right?
Yeah.
But it's so funny to me that it's like, yeah, imagine that it's essentially Taylor Swift doing the concert. It's an afternoon show.
Yeah.
And anytime he like leaves his daughter to be like, I'm going to go do this or whatever, there's like hundreds of people walking the hallways. It's like they should have said it at like a Comic-Con or something. Cause it's like, if Taylor Swift is playing, why is everyone just milling about in the hallways? Everyone's going up to get French fries. And it's like, there's like hundreds of people here.
I don't know. It was over the top, but I mean, I've been at concerts and then went to go to the bathroom or get a drink and there's still people in line.
But it's like, this was like bonkers.
Yeah,
like no one was in a
full.
rush to get back to the fucking giant
it was
show.
Full.
And it's like, there's the like the concession stand that was made me laugh so hard. And it's like, he's looking and he sees people like put something in a deep fryer and then like looks over here and sees these giant glass jars of whatever the fuck, grease or something.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, he needs to create a distraction. So it's like a close up of him like cranking the deep fryer all the way up. And then it's like cuts to him kind of like doot walking away. And someone like the employee looks and sees like, oh my God, there's all these jars. And it's like, hold up. There's hundreds of people around. It's like he just walked all the way back into this fully staffed kitchen.
Yeah.
Chucked these giant jugs of fucking grease into this thing. And no one's like, excuse me, sir, you don't work here. Sir, that's dangerous. Don't do that. And there's a million things like that in the movie that are amazing. It's so funny because it's dumb.
My disbelief is completely suspending because I know that in real life, if you are moving confidently, people will not question that you're in the wrong place.
There's a degree of that, but it's like...
But this was that amped up.
Oh my God,
But I mean, there's an element of that to real life that I believe.
Yeah.
But it was so over the top. It was great.
Yeah, there's no twist, but it took funny directions that I didn't anticipate.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you go into it like, I want to watch the dumbest movie possible that is the most fun I'll have this year, fucking Trap is it.
Yeah.
Like, I 1,000% will watch it again.
Yeah, so much fun.
It's so stupid, but it's
the daughter was great too.
Oh, his daughter? Yeah.
Yeah, she was really good in it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, she was really good. Yeah, and then like Allison Pill was in it. I don't want to like spoil too much, but it's so funny that it's like Allison Pill, like, you could have gone about this a different way.
Yeah.
A much easier way. I thought, it doesn't matter. I don't want to spoil that part of it, but it's like, wow, okay, this is a real...
Yeah, and I liked the twists when the singer, who is M. Night's daughter in real life, I liked the twists once she got involved. I liked what her character did.
Yeah, it's funny because it's
like...
that
was cool.
It was... Again, partly some of the stuff she did, partly dumb, but partly also smart.
Yeah.
Like, no, I guess that you could call the cops, or you have a fucking 40 million followers on Instagram. You could go on a live and be like, somebody look for this house, and you'd probably reach more people.
Yeah, because calling the cops,
they don't know where they're...
Are they going to believe you? And where are they going to find you? Are they going to get there in time?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like it was kind of smart, silly, kind of smart. It was so funny.
And even her, when they first got in the car and they just want to be let off at the corner, and she's like, "Can I go see your house?"
Oh yeah,
I'm like, ballsy move. Like,
very, yeah.
Hartnett
was really so good in it though. Holy fuck, that dude is underrated. I think.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, he's great.
So good.
Awesome.
Watch Trap.
So apparently, I don't know what his next movie is, but he's already working on it.
Oh, great.
They just announced it a week or two ago.
Still Trapped. The fucking thing with the bike. Nobody saw that. Come on. Come on. Amazing.
And getting out of the limo in a completely different outfit.
Oh, it's amazing.
Nobody saw you do it. It was great. It was so great.
Whatever he sees, whatever he makes, I'll fucking see.
Oh, yeah. I'm always there.
Oh, also, just a real quick thing. He wrote, but didn't direct that movie Devil, which was pretty fun.
Yeah, Devil's great.
Yeah, just a fun. Almost seemed like it could be like a Tales from the Crypt episode or something.
Yeah, and it felt like his direction too. Like, there must have been a lot of tutelage in there.
Yeah, it was interesting.
It very much felt like
fun afternoon horror movie to watch.
Yeah, it's great. Like a Twilight Zone episode too. And he also did another show called Wayward Pines, which wasn't bad.
Oh, okay.
With Matt Dillon, I think.
Oh,
and
the title's familiar, but
it was a solid show too.
Nice.
Not as good as Servant, but. My recommendation from this episode is Servant. You got to check out Servant.
Nice.
But anyway, yeah, that's it. That's M. Night Part 2. And I can't wait for, a couple of years from now when we can do M. Night Part 3.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
All right.
Right on.
Got an outro? You don't have one?
Okay,
no more outros, people. Sorry.
Oh, good.
You want to be in a situation again? Okay, what? Jeff Goldblum.
Yes.
Trying to tell a customer at McDonald's that they've run out of fries.
Oh, good gravy. Hate to tell you this. The French fries that you love so much, French fries. Oh, they're gone. They're gone. Where do they go? Maybe that grimace creature could have gobbled them up. I'm just kidding. Trying to lighten the mood. Another cheeseburger. How about another cheeseburger? I got to offer you that. Nuggets.
I think I'm liking the outro setup a thing. I think that's pretty cool. I'm enjoying it. I'm going to continue to do these.
I'll write a list of people that I think I can do, good or bad.
Oh, no, I'm going to pick people that I don't care if you can do them or not.
Okay. Amazing. Oh, gosh.
It's like somebody firing Eric Roberts from McDonald's. Don't fire me. It's all I know.
My kids are hungry. We ran out of fries.
All right, folks. We'll see you back here next week. Same ramble time. Same ramble. See you next
Wherever
week.
you get podcasts.
Thanks for listening to The Real Ramblers. Follow us on Instagram at Real Ramblers. That's REEL Ramblers. And you can follow Lee at Lee Howard _art and Bill at JustTheBill1138.